thanks for coming out, guys. We appreciate you taking the time, and of course, a little bit of technical things here at the beginning. Sometimes we can't help that with our platforms, but very, very much appreciate you guys taking the time to be here. We're going to be about 90 minutes on our content. So just want to encourage you all to stick around to the end, because in the end, we're going to go ahead and give you that direct-to-sale template that we were talking about. Okay, so we want you to stick around for the whole workshop. Some of these parts are going to be relevant for digital marketers, e-commerce, local. Some of them are only going to be specific to certain sections. Okay, but ultimately, understand overall that our main theme here is for you to understand messaging to a better level and all the optimizations around it than you've ever before. And this is how we've been able to do some of the amazing things we've been able to do recently as of late as well. And if we have time, I'll show you guys some crazy campaigns that are running right now with results that are just not normal. So yeah, John, that's right. We are here. So appreciate you guys. And we like to do them. We like to do them with everyone. So that's why I like to have the chat. And Irina will be joining me momentarily, and we should be good. So just double checking. All right, perfect. There. And then let's do it. So there she is. All right. Go ahead and turn on your camera and turn on your microphone. And you should, I can hear you. Your audio hasn't come through yet, but I think there you are. All right, everybody. Let me introduce you to my partner in business and partner in life, the lovely Irina. And as you all know, she is has worked here in the agency. We met through the marketing industry. She's also a Facebook copywriter, storyteller. And so we're going to go through some of the stuff and even preview some of the stuff she's been able to do as well that is still running, that she wrote 6 months ago for ads that are still running because they're working so well. So looking forward to that. And just want to turn it on over for a quick moment. Can you hear me right now, Irina?
I can hear you fine. Joe said audio is fine, video struggling to keep up. Is it my video or all of the videos?
Yeah, I think your video. Cherry Lou, okay, same here, okay. Is that for me or for Irina? For the video, because I see the video on my side with you very choppy as well. Both videos struggle.
I cannot hear you now.
Because I needed to do that. That would be why. Now you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So as you guys might see, we have Jepson, the marketing cat, behind us in the windowsill. So we have a third member of the webinar. And yes, he's been through more training and marketing than most people on the planet. So laying right there with us as we go through stuff and take notes. All right, so this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to jump right into this. I know it's already been a few minutes past with some tech issues, and we are going to get rolling. So any quick thoughts, Irina, on what people are going to experience today? Do you have any quick thoughts or anything they should expect?
I'm honestly excited for those who actually never heard about this or never done it before, because when I first learned these strategies and kind of like these techniques, I guess, it was groundbreaking for me. Like my whole view of the industry and whole view of the marketing changed. So like finally everything came together. Instead of like trying to piece one thing here, one piece there, for me it was like, oh my God, now it all makes sense. So I'm just excited for everyone.
Right on. Very cool. Okay, well then let's do it, guys. Let's jump right into it and show you what we've got for you today, okay? So let me turn on the screen share and we will roll. And some of you are probably going to tell me, why don't you go full screen with your slides? And I don't usually do that because I like to have the flexibility there to mess with something, move something, and I think it's worth it where you guys can see stuff on the left and know and be able to anticipate what's coming too. So here we go, guys. This is what this is the North Node system for writing predictably high converting, fully scalable Facebook ads. All right. So my partner and I, Irina, we own North Node Solutions, and obviously we've been marketers, myself 9 years, Irina 8 years, and have been running Facebook ads since Facebook ads were available, okay, since they started them, all right, back in 2011. So we are looking forward to this, and this is a culmination of a lot of what we learned over the years, but also applying it in our agency with business owners and marketers and local business owners and product owners and consulting.
If
What's that?
Sharing your screen, we actually can't see it. It's just black screen for most of us.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Now there's something happening.
Can you see the slides now?
Well, I see them in like magnified mirror kind of way.
Okay. Magnified mirror.
Yeah, I don't.
This is why I always try to steer away from Webinar Jam. Just these little technical things.
There you are. You good now?
Hey, you guys see us? Okay, cool.
I guess we're having a little bit of a delay here. I'm going to switch to my hotspot while you're starting. So we know.
Okay, and you may want to take off video because now we're just sharing screen.
Yeah, so okay. I'll do that as well.
All right. I'm going to double check the chat, make sure everyone's good. Okay. Awesome. Let's do this, guys. So here we go. How to craft ad copy that increases ROI 2 to 5x. We've proven that with a coded approach using proven formulas tested on over $963,808.44 in ad spend. And when we wrote that, that was taking a screenshot back in June, 26th of June. We're actually closer to 2 million in ad spend this year, but as of crafting all this, I didn't want to change because we have the screenshot. So let's move right into, and obviously, guys, this is without being a professional copywriter, because the biggest myth people believe is that in order to write good ads, you need to be a copywriter. It's just not the case, and in fact can work against you when it comes to Facebook, and we will get into that. So by the end of this web class, you'll know why the model for you marketers that are looking to generate leads, you know why it's dying, okay? You'll have a proven ad template to make sales with. You'll understand how to create buyers where there were not before. I know that's a bold claim, guys. Stick with me. You'll see that it's reality. We'll walk you through it. And also why pro copywriters are actually handicapped compared to people who started first on Facebook. Because ultimately, guys, I stand on the shoulders of giants. I've studied so many of the greats, the legends of copywriting 30, 40, 50 years ago. And honestly, you don't need to know all of that these days. And I had to take a lot of what they taught and try to translate it to social media, to Facebook, to the way that we do funnels and sales messages now. You know, it's beyond, well, let me get really good at a long copy sales letter. So you'll see that. All right, guys. So also the cool thing, how to leverage the about it in one of our ad videos if you saw that, but there's more. Okay, so, and also I want you guys to remind me at the end of this to answer this question, because I don't have a slide on it, but it's definitely something we have come up a lot, which is whether video or long copy text ads work better. And I want you to remind me to answer that at the end of our full training. Okay, sound good? So can everyone can everyone still see me? Can you still see my screen? Am I still good?
I can see you fine. I can see the screen fine. but I'm getting feedback that the screen share video is a little bit choppy.
Wow. Okay. You must have a major delay. Let me check here. Okay. So you guys can all see my screen. Awesome. Okay. Let's roll back to this. So Irina, if you said anything I didn't hear, you might have your microphone off too. You may want to turn your microphone back on.
Can you hear me?
So I know it's funny because the internet is so new, but a lot of people, when they say the term traditional internet marketing, you think traditional, like, isn't the internet not traditional in any way? And in fact, as long as some of us have been doing it, there's already a traditional way and a new way. And that really shifted when the majority of the way we communicate went to social media. So no longer do you have to become an expert at copywriting to have a winning ad and finally make a profit. You should not have to start over every couple of days with another ad because your ads are burning out. And when you can do this, as a business owner, you can refocus on what grows your business rather than how to save it, right? So like I had said before, the way we communicate has changed. Gimmicks or amateur attention getters lost their power, guys. People are over it. It seems like a good idea for amateurs. Amateurs still do that stuff and they'll get a little bit of a result, but they don't understand how things have shifted, and people are more sophisticated than that because any Facebook user can smell an ad from a mile away. And on top of that, for those of you who have studied copy, the traditional power words do not work anymore. And I'm going to prove that to you. So just real quick, Irina, can you, I can't hear you if you're trying to talk. Am I still good here? Just making sure, obviously, because of the tech stuff happening here.
We can.
Are you still on? She may have popped off, actually. I'm going to pop back on. Okay. So, quick study. HubSpot and Outbrain. Some of you may know who that is. They did a study on headline click rates. And so they studied click rates coming from blog posts, from those little bit of snippets underneath articles and reports on different websites and blogs and news and everything, where when the article's done, they say you may also be interested in, and it shows these different articles. Well, they're actually ads. They're actually meant to look like ads, and they're more like advertorials, right? And Outbrain is the company that really that facilitates that type of platform. And HubSpot obviously is a major CRM, which offers a lot of marketing platforms and SaaS, service as a software. And so Outbrain is that network that actually facilitates it. And HubSpot is a CRM tracking system. They do a lot of stuff, landing pages. They do all types of marketing software for business owners. And they partnered with Outbrain and tracked all of their headline clicks and tracked all these metrics. And they came up with something that's really disturbing, actually, okay? They discovered that the tried and true power words that copywriters use are actually failing, all right? I just want to see, you guys still hear me? Looking good, no lag, perfect. You are starting to, you're back to multiple screen. Perfect, guys, perfect. Okay, so this is the crazy part. Like, you see some of these words, these are what copywriters use in their toolbox as the power words, right? Like, you have these words that are meant to evoke a response from people. And, like the word magic, the word tip, the word credit, cure, simple, how to even. I'm going to go into that. Easy, need, free, okay? So these words, trick, amazing, secret, check this out. It decreased headline click rates when these words were in it compared to when those words were not in the headline, okay? So for example, the word secret, minus 23%. What that means is, let's say you had a 1% link click-through rate. Now you have, with a decreasing minus 23%, you have a 0.76 click-through rate. You lost almost 3/4 of your click rate. And that's just from having these words in here. Now look at a few of the other ones. Magic, minus 59. Tip, minus 59. Credit, minus 58. Cure, minus 49. Simple, the word simple, guys, minus 49. How to, minus 49. I'm going to get into that. Just remind me about that, because we don't use how to anymore, and there's reasons for it. And not in the headlines anyway, right? It's not like you don't ever use these words in context, but not in the headlines. We do it a different way. Easy, minus 44. Whoever would have thought by telling someone it's easy that you lose 44% of your click rates. The word need, minus 44. Free, minus 41, guys. The word free, okay? So that's crazy, right? That's crazy. So then 37% on Y, reader ref, trick, minus 26, amazing, minus 24. So what this means, guys, what does this actually mean? Well, they found from the study that when used in a headline, the words photo, who, increase CTR, whereas the words easy, how to, credit, cure, they decrease CTR. Including positive superlatives like best or always in headlines decreases CTR as well. And we talk about that because it's not qualifying things, right? They're just like, they're non-qualifiers. Best or always is kind of like, it's a poor way of doing it, and you have to do it in the right context. And the headlines that generated the highest level of engagement was moderate links, 81 to 100 characters. And guys, that is like super long compared to what's being taught out there, especially for social media. You see some of the biggest names training for Facebook ads talking about make your first headline up top really short and sweet and simple. Why? Well, I'll explain the psychology behind that later, but it's just not the case. So ultimately, what does this mean for the future of Facebook ads? All right. What does it mean? Because hold on. Now, I understand some of you are going, well, that's one platform on websites, but that's not social media. You're not on Facebook with that. So it's different, right? I would agree with you 100%. Here's what I would then ask you. If in fact, okay, it's a different platform, but if those words don't work on a website, what makes you think on social media, where people can smell a fake person from a mile away, where people will call you out when they can tell you're not being genuine or you're not telling the truth, what makes you think you can get by with these words on a social platform where it's literally you can't do any BS without people freaking out? All right. That means it's even more of a concern on social media. And in fact, that line of thinking has helped us increase our click rates tremendously on Facebook. So what does this mean? People aren't dumb anymore, and people are getting more sophisticated. And we should not treat them as if they are dumb. We should not be trying to talk to Homer Simpson like so many marketers train to say, hey, write to Homer. Sorry, be clear, but don't belittle and insult your prospects' intelligence. All right. Things need to be conversational. The ads need to be conversational in nature. They can't look like an ad. Your focus should be on what and the context that you set, not the ninja magic words of how to say it. Right? There's certain ways on how to say it, but if you focus on how to say it, then what you're actually saying still might not be the thing. So don't worry about that. You want to throw out conventional grammar rules and type how you talk. So today we're going to open up our toolbox, show you the exact strategies we use in our agency. And before we do that, guys, I'm not big. I don't want to take a ton of time because we already did a bunch of, already had some technical errors and we're behind. But I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from. When I first started, this was like the major pivot point that started to help me understand. And before I realized this, I didn't have barely any success. I was struggling for 3 years, not making barely anything. I was at a marketing event and I was so broke, I bummed a bed in my friend's hotel room. They were like, yeah, I got an extra bed. You can sleep here, man. Just, work it out. And from that event, I was sitting on the curb. This is actually the San Diego Convention Center. And it was 2012. And I was sitting on that curb and I was thinking about how I was so broke. I was only making like a couple $100 a month in my marketing business. And I was just trying to sell, at the time, softwares, SaaS, and digital products. And I was making no money. And just a couple hundred, like next to nothing. And I was trying so hard. I knew all the strategies. I knew all the optimization. I'd been on the webinars with all the strategists that had all the latest tips, tricks, and hacks, right? I knew all of that. But I had friends who were using all of it and it was working very well. But for me, I just couldn't figure out what it was. And I finally just said to myself sitting there, I've got to know what this is. I don't care. I'm not afraid to know what it is. I absolutely want to know what it is. And whatever it is, I will address it because I want to be successful. I know that I can, but I don't know why people aren't responding to me. And so I'm sitting there Sunday night after the event at a friend's house. And it was like the craziest thing. I'll spare you the details, but essentially she said something to me about her experience of me at the event, which essentially was something to the effect of every time I was talking to somebody, she couldn't even stand there anymore because she felt like I was not being myself to people and I wasn't really telling people what they needed to hear. I was trying to be nice. I was trying to tell them kind of what they wanted to hear and dance around the core of the issue, which meant I really couldn't help them, right? And so when she said it, it's like a movie screen opened up for me. It was almost like what people talk about in a near death experience where you see like your whole life flash before your eyes. Except for me, it was every moment in my life where this belief about trying to be nice and not be real with people, and tell them, to be like good and fluff them and essentially, make them try to make them feel better about themselves and not hold them accountable for things that help them grow, even when they're asking for it. And I realized that caused me so much pain and suffering in my life, in relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, business partnerships, all of that, right? And so I essentially broke down. Like I lost it then. I was crying. I was just like, I was a mess. But I realized something, that I couldn't be this way anymore. And I resolved to make sure that whatever I was saying from here on out was going to be 100% real. I wasn't going to hide from people. I wasn't going to try to fluff people. I was just going to tell them exactly where I'm coming from the heart, being real and authentic. And I wasn't going to be a jerk about it. Like, tell someone like, hey, you're an idiot. Of course you have those thoughts for some people, right? But I was still nice to people, but I was being real, right? And what happened is I started to tell my story on my, on Facebook, and people started to respond. I got a response. People showed up to me differently, like they never had before. I put it in a blog post. I emailed it to my list, and the magic started to happen, guys. And why I'm telling you this is this will lead into directly what I'm going to be teaching you guys here today. So I want you guys to know that this was the path that it set me on. And literally from a couple $100, 90 days later, doing the same strategies, the same optimizations, all the other stuff, but just my message changing. All right. 90 days later, $16,075 in commissions. And I've never looked back, guys. And this is a check from the affiliate company that I was working with at the time. We no longer do affiliate marketing, but at the time, this was my proving ground, right? And this is actually me using that ad, running that ad right there, okay, with my story, leveraged one good ad with only about 7,000 in ad spend and made over 105,000 in sales just from that ad alone. And then from starting to do other ads and other promotions, I was able to make that amount that you guys see on that check. That's the picture from one full year later in that company. As you guys can see, 2014, right? And my original moment of realization was like October of 2012. And then that January of 2013 is when I had that first 5-figure month. Okay. And so I want you guys to understand that this is about not trying to learn the ninja words or the power words or how to manipulate people or how to do any of that crap. Okay. This is about getting real and then being able to do it properly so people feel it and people know it and people understand it, and how to bring clarity to people. Okay. And help people understand how to make a buying decision, but do it ethically. Okay. That's what this is about. All right. So ultimately, I just want to check in here. Irina, are you back on now? Want to see
yes, I am.
All right, just real quick, because this is kind of where we connected in the industry. The rest is history. Guys, you see the ring on the finger. Now it's she was there through the hard times and the craziness, and then we got really good, and we decided to take our skills to helping business owners, and we wanted to see if we could apply all of this to any business owner, not just affiliate stuff, right? And if it worked with any business owner, we knew we had something real, and it ended up working with every type of business owner, every client we had, digital products. Anytime we consulted a client for e-commerce, local brick and mortar people, we've consulted them, agencies even. Right now we're actually consulting a few agencies and that actually do a lot, and we're helping in every way with them, right? So that's major, all right? And so, Irina, I just wanted to pop it over to you for a moment and see if, now that it's been such a journey here over the last a few years after running the agency for probably started, in June of 2015 to actually open up the agency to help business owners and your thoughts, just kind of reflecting back for a moment in terms of what we've been able to do.
Well, I I think we've done a lot just from the times that we opened the agency. But one quick thing that I wanted to share, like back when we were in that affiliate company together, we both had separate businesses. And I was generating leads for like 8 cents, on Facebook. Like they were literally 8 cents and I was generating them, every day, like in hundreds and thousands. But here's the kicker. We both brought in the same amount of, we both made the same amount of sales in that company. But the difference between that is Chris made 3 times more the money using his Loan Story ads, while I was using, the regular salesy clickbait kind of like, hey, curiosity type of marketing. And so even though I was generated very cheap leads and everything was pretty cheap for me and easy, the money that I was making was not the same. And that's when I was like, all right, there is something there in this Loan Story. And obviously people are, it's not just like Loan Story. It's just like a long copy ad where you pre-qualify your lead that by the time they are, ready to buy, like they already know who you are and they just willing to give you money. Whereas opposed to when I was doing my marketing, people were like, well, who the hell are you and why should I buy from you? So I didn't see you sharing that story. So I wanted to make a point of like the difference of, the short clickbait ad and the Loan Story.
It was actually like your customer value, lifetime customer value with the same amount of like 115 sales. I actually did delete that slide. I don't know how it got deleted. But 115 sales each of us, and yours was like $800.
Mine was like 400 something, I think, if so, and yours was like 2,100 or something like that.
2,122 per customer. Same exact funnel, same exact landing page, same exact sales message, same exact everything. Even the follow-up system was automated, same exact from the company, and because of the way I did it differently on Facebook with more in-depth decision-making copy, 3 times higher, 3 times like that's 6 times better in terms of ROI and lifetime customer value. So yeah, it makes a big difference, guys. A huge difference. So appreciate that. Thank you for catching that. Yeah. So let me go back here and finish up. Just wanted to check the chat here real quick. Okay, sweet. All right. So can you guys let me know when you see the screen?
Yep, you're good.
All right. So this is some of our clients right now, or not right now, as in past and present clients. Some of them we've just done consulting work for, like Sam Cart, Brian over there. Now he's scaling massively. Got a webinar going and got his ads right and everything and helped him out. He doesn't always follow our methodologies, but I've helped him a lot with his funnel as well. Digital marketer, obviously, when Molly Pittman left a digital marketer, they needed a transition agency while they developed and trained the internal agency to work and run the Facebook ads, and they also run their YouTube and everything else now. So we took over for about 7 months. And essentially, we added a couple $100,000 to the bottom line by telling them, hey, you guys actually need to do webinars. They actually had never done webinars to sell anything. And so we helped them with the webinars. We ran the ads and then also did all the retargeting with longer copies, selling it on the back end, and added a couple $100,000 a month to their revenue from that with about the same ad spend. So I think that was amazing. Dominate Web Media, a lot of you know Keith Krantz. With Dominate Web Media, he also has the Ultimate Guide to Facebook Advertising, version 3 co-authored with Perry Marshall. And then some of our other clients you may have heard of: John Pembert, the Smart Music Business, Chris Greenwood, which is some of you have seen he got featured by Facebook recently for his ability to sell his stuff. And we've been working with him. I actually wrote the copy for the ad that made him all his sales, that got him noticed and got him featured by Facebook. Graves Golf Academy, those guys are awesome. We just got them going. Six Figure Home Studio, Absolute Dogs. Some of you may have heard of Absolute Dogs. They're going to do about $4 million this year. When they started with us, they were doing about 40,000. a month, and now they're going to do 4 million. So the Business Lounge, some of you might know Kimberly Jimenez. We literally just wrote something for her, $9 front end offer, making sales for 4. So some of you may have heard of Jabril Agoro, Mr. Think Outside the Box. I ran and built all of his funnels for a while, for a few years. And he's, of course, is a legend in the industry. So just want you guys to see us as we are real. You'll see Matt on the far left, our project manager. Some of them are here on the webinar right now, on the workshop. But this is our team, guys. And we've had a lot of fun, and just wanted to give you guys a quick screenshot to show you January 1st to June 26th, $963.08. Now it shows like around the same now for us because we obviously removed digital marketers ad spend from our business manager as well, because we transitioned them back. And so we actually can't get in and actually show metrics there anymore. But so if I look at it, it's going to be about the same now, but that's just taking that away. And we're really around overseeing and having scope of about 2 million in ad spend in 2018 this year, guys. So let's jump right into the trade secrets. All right. So we're going to pop through these now. Trade secret number 1, how we flipped traditional internet marketing on its head and documented what we did. I think you guys will enjoy that. Number 2 is I'm going to walk you guys through that ad template that I'm going to give you at the end of the webinar that efficiently finds your best qualified customers with less wasted ad spend. And number 3, how you can work with Facebook's algorithm to create qualified prospects out of thin air. And I know that's a big, bold claim, guys, but stay with me and let me prove it to you, because I promise I will. All right. So each of these trade secrets we use as a regular part of our agency's approach to Facebook ads. So some of you have seen this, me draw this out on the whiteboard, the engagement continuum. Some of you saw this if you saw my video, the 20-minute video explaining how the algorithm works. So we're going to pop through this very, very quickly because there's a little bit more to it, right? A lot of you understand that, you know, someone sees the ad and then this is the customer journey all the way until they make a buying decision, which could consist of many different steps or only one. So the traditional way that a lot of people in traditional direct response or internet marketing is to have their ad be a short, quick click ad, like we talked about, their opt-in page be very minimalistic, and then let their sales message and all their emails and follow-ups do all the heavy lifting. That's the way it's always been looked at. So the theory states that you want to get the cheapest click possible. But guys, that was never created from Facebook. That was from banner ads, pop-up ads, stuff like that. It was all about the cheapest front end possible, and then knowing what your customer value is. And that's not with the way Facebook's platform is, with its algorithm. It actually has the ability to optimize better for you and give you exactly what you need, therefore increasing conversions in a major way. So I would submit that even if your cost per lead is a little high, if you do this right, you get a better qualified lead or a qualified prospect that is more likely to make a buying decision sooner than later. All right, which will effectively increase your customer value, your ROI, and your lifetime customer value. All right. So, but what do most people do at this point? So let's say just, and I know this doesn't apply for everybody because some of you are e-commerce and you go direct to sale and you're not generating leads, but we'll get there. Okay. So this is one of the first switches that we've done for a lot of our clients who are selling something where they were generating leads before, either, you know, through lead magnet webinars, whatever. Right. And what we did is, most people will go run a conversion ad, right? And then it'll ask you what you want to optimize for. And almost everybody, for those of you who do this, you know that you optimize for a lead, and you go ahead and put your, you know, lead standard event on your funnel so that when someone opts in or registers, it fires that lead pixel. And that's what you're optimizing for, someone who's going to opt into something. But when we did this for a long time, which still works when you've got good copy, but it doesn't work as well as what we're going to show you. So what we found when we generated just leads is resulted in cheaper, unqualified buyers. The conversion rates were low on our lead capture pages and even lower with our sales message. All right. Lower relevance scores resulting in higher cost per ad impression and ultimately cost per click. Why is that? We'll talk a little bit more about it, but it's mostly because of not giving the Facebook algorithm what it needs, right? Which is more engagement naturally and time spent on ad, watching the video, reading the copy, right? Then because of that, Facebook could not optimize. It couldn't properly optimize for who you really wanted because you're giving it so little data. It was just giving us what we asked for, an unqualified lead, very broad, you know. That's why some people think, you know, hey, let me do something like my headline be attention business owners, and that's it. And I would tell you that is the most amateur thing you want to do. And why is that? Because you're not setting any context for the type of person you want. It's just a business owner. See what I mean? And so Facebook can't find you anything but a business owner. All right, so you don't want to do it that way. So here's why this happens. When you optimize for leads, you only optimize for leads. That's all you get, essentially. It's just someone who has shown to Facebook to enter an email from a Facebook ad. And what happens is most of them use a second email that they don't check at all to opt into. And some of you know you're guilty of that too. It's okay. You don't have to lie. You know you do it, right? We all do. And these types of leads are not qualified leads that buy stuff. They're freebie seekers mostly. And so it's a very inefficient funnel because you have a high amount of people that never buy anything. They don't require any buyer history attribution in their Facebook profile. All right. Everybody's buying stuff online and most of them have Facebook pixels. Facebook knows if you are buying stuff. And if you don't, then they're not going to show you ads for stuff. They're only going to show ads to people who opt into stuff if that is in fact what you're asking for. So my question to you is, why would you optimize for leads when you really want sales? And just remember, some people are like, well, wait a second, you know, when do I generate the lead? Okay, but we'll get there. Just to know that it should be used as a part of your overall strategy. But what I'm about to show you doesn't have to be like the lead generation. It shouldn't be your primary customer acquisition model. Okay. And I'll show you what probably should be. Okay. This is the difference. This is the difference right here. We started to do a lot of the pre-qualifying and the pre-selling in the newsfeed using our templates, using our processes, using our Epic method or Epic formula, going to a cart page or a sales page, making sales and then retargeting, and often making sales here a lot, like at a tune of 3 to 5%. So 3 to 5 out of 100 who clicked on the page would buy, right? And it still works just fine. What happens is we do most of the heavy lifting with a long engaging ad that educates and pre-qualifies the customer. However, the lead cost is usually the same or less as a short ad. And in some cases, when it costs a little more, there's so much more pre-qualified that it works, that it actually is worth it to you because that person may convert at 2 or 3 to 4 to 5 times higher and be worth 2 to 5 times more than a lead that you generate through a short, quick click ad. Okay, because there's more than enough traffic out there, guys. There's more than enough. And all you have to do is tell Facebook what you want. And if it can optimize faster and more efficiently for that, you'd be amazed at what happens. I'm going to prove that to you. So instead, we started to generate buyers, right? We optimize for purchase, which gives us qualified buyers. Costs much less to acquire a customer than before with lead gen, less wasted ad spend, higher relevance scores results in lower cost per click, CPMs, and better optimization because of Facebook's algorithm finds buyers efficiently. All right. And so some of you are like, well, I don't have, why do I want to go direct to sale? I can't generate the lead. I get that. I'll get there. Okay. But here's the 5 reasons why it works better. 1, Facebook shows your ad to profiles with buyer history attributions in them, which means they're more likely to buy at a higher rate, like we talked about. When people buy, they use their primary email address because they want to actually get what they bought. That eliminates all the secondary emails from opt-ins, right? Better on the back end. These people are more likely to buy than unqualified leads. They have a higher lifetime customer value as displayed by what we're about to show you as they buy and upgrade more. And what happens is you get to cut out the bloated ad spend by getting right to the cream of the crop rather than trying to cast a wide net and then spend a ton of time and energy and money trying to qualify them through your funnel. So what happens is you can work with Facebook, tell it what you want, and acquire a more qualified customer efficiently with less ad spend. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. Most owners, marketers, business owners, they believe that they can't go direct to sale from Facebook. And in some cases, not all price points are ready for that. We're talking about something under $50 usually to start with, right? And we help our clients develop those usually. They believe they have to be a good copywriter, which is not true. They believe they can't do enough selling just inside the news feed, which is also not true. They think they have to show them their 12 to 18-minute sales video to sell something, which is not true. If I don't generate the lead first, then I have only one chance to sell. Well, that's very true, right? A lot of you are like, well, how do I have leads to follow up with if I'm optimizing for purchase, they're not opting in. So I don't have any leads to follow up with. That's a short-term thing, right? That would be short-term thinking. That's what someone said to me. They said, Chris, that's totally short-term because now you don't have any people to email and follow up with because we know that most people buy through follow-ups. You're right. You're 100% right. And so this is the question I get the most from them. But I'll tell you what we do about that. All right. So I'm actually thinking I might go full screen on this one so you guys can actually see the difference. Let me share this one so I can walk you guys through this quick process. No, not present. Done. Sorry, guys. All right. Is this making sense? Irina, am I still there? Can everyone hear me?
I can see you and hear you. Someone messaged that something stopped. I'm not sure what stuff I'm trying to figure out, but it was good on my end. And no one else said anything, so I would assume you're looking good.
Okay, can you just check the chat and make sure people are saying it's cool? And yeah.
All right. Yep, all good.
Okay, so guys, let's look at it this way, this simple process. You see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So obviously, we've got the ad, that's step 1. 2, it goes to a checkout or a sales page. A hybrid, some of them we use hybrid sales pages where it's like the checkout form is there, but we also have a sales video or a sales message. And then you're going to get about 2 to 5% of people who buy that, depending on the cost of your product and how it's set up and how well you're selling it. But let's say 5% do it. No, let's just say worst case scenario, 2% buy here. There's your little like $37 offer. Then that means there's now 98% of the people who hit that checkout page didn't buy. But here's the good news. You can now retarget them. You take that same custom audience that now has loaded your checkout page or your sales page, whatever this is, and you retarget them with a second ad going to a lead magnet, a webinar registration, or whatever your lead generation mechanism actually is. Okay, and what we have found is the cost to retarget and get that from the people who did not buy is usually about half because they're warm audiences. They've seen you go through more and give more value and do more pre-qualifying, so they're better qualified leads, and it costs way less. Okay, and those people then from that point can go to a sales page or a webinar and then back to the checkout page. All right, and you'll make more sales, okay, then to your OTO. So I just wanted to kind of walk through that process and then show you a real life example. Now, real quick, in the chat, let me know if that process makes sense. And I know a lot of you may be thinking, well, then I'm spending money twice to acquire leads. But you know what actually happens? Usually you can either break even or make money on that front end purchase product. And I'll show you how. Okay. Now, in that case, if you're breaking even or making money, then all you're doing is getting cheaper leads. If you're making money, then you're just using that extra money to generate the leads that are already warm. Okay. And this is the first part of the strategy we always set up, guys. So, Irene, I just wanted to check because I'm not looking at the chat here because I got the screen up. Are people responding? Is this making sense to them or is this confusing to people?
So we got a question. So we shouldn't start with a free lead magnet. That's so far all we got.
Yep, absolutely not. You should not. You should start with optimizing for purchase going to a front end anywhere from $7 to $47 offer, and then you retarget all of them. Stay with me and I'll prove it to you, okay? So This is one of our clients, Chris Greenwood. A lot of you heard about him. We talked about him in our ad. He just got featured by Facebook for the amazing stuff that he's done. And he was the only one that could sell his album on a free plus shipping, literally in the newsfeed, and make a profit from that, right? And I wrote the ad on that copy. But what really actually allowed him to be able to do that is this other part of his business where he is a coach for independent music artists and helping them promote themselves, promote their music, you know, build their career as an independent music artist, all right? Because he's also an independent artist. And so this particular product he was selling was called Spotify Profits. It was teaching music artists how to get on Spotify, how to put their music on Spotify, how to market Spotify, how to get more fans and followers on Spotify, right? That's essentially what it is. So what we did is it was a $37 offer. $37 to this, direct to the checkout page with a video. But here's what we did. I want you to pay close attention. The video here in the ad is an 8-minute video that we gave him as a outline of talking points for him. So he just followed an outline as he talked, 8 minutes. We took that same exact video and put it on the checkout page. This is what we call a hybrid checkout page. And we took that video, put it there as well, so either they watch it here or they'll watch it here. If they watch some of it here, they can finish watching it here. We had just the list of all the deliverables they get, and then they bought $37. I want you to see here, this is just one of our initial runs, 208 purchases, $24.76 per result. The cost is $37. Now, if you guys know how to do math, you'll know that that means we made $12 in profit on the front end. And at scale, it was only up to 28 or 30. And so, and then they went to the $97 a month. And so the cart value was up at like $70. Every sale was worth about $70 on the front end with the one-time upsell that was $97. So look at that, 208 purchases, guys. So we had $12 per sale to play with. And what we did is we took all those people that did not buy, okay, and we retargeted all the non-buyers to his webinar invite. All right, we wrote the ad. The webinar was a $1,200 offer. It was a 2-pay for $597 for 2 months, right? And high ticket offer, the result was $120 per sale for a $1,200 offer. And if you like math, that's a 10x return on ad spend. You can see it down here. That's not only a few sales, that's quite a few, and at 120 per, okay? Just retargeting those non-buyers. As opposed to when we ran cold, okay? So this is where everyone's like, so I just shouldn't generate the lead first or send them to a webinar invitation? Well, not always. We still do that too as a part of our overall strategy. Some of you came directly from an invite optimizing for lead, okay? But when we did it for him, the same ad, the cost per webinar registrant was less. It was less, right? So everyone's like, hey, I got a cheaper front end, cheaper lead, right? Who cares? The cost per webinar purchase was more than double, $253 per sale. $253 to make that $1,200 sale, as opposed to $120 per sale when we retargeted the buyers. Why? Because it was better traffic, people that had more buyer attribution, they had a more buyer history, and we pre-qualified them more with our longer, more engaged, educational, value-based ads, which people are so afraid to do because they think they're going to lose the click. It's total BS. It's a myth, right? So you can see here that we literally, from using the front end sale style, we cut our high ticket offer cost in half. Oh, and by the way, we were making $12 per sale on the front end. On top of that, we took the video out of the newsfeed and ran just the text that we have, and I'll show you that. It still went to $30 a sale. Still making $7 profit, okay? This is the ad, guys. So as you can see, it's like medium to long copy, and we do most of the selling right in the newsfeed. I'm going to walk you through the psychology of some of this in a minute, but it's just one of his ads we used. That was, and this is the exact ad that we showed you that has that $24 per purchase. Okay, and he's since had, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds more, probably thousands by now. Okay, we transitioned him to where now he has an in-house person, and so we just consult him and just kind of check in with him on stuff. So like I said, we even tested the ad copy without the video. Okay, so I was off by just a little bit from what I remembered. $33 per sale compared to $28 with the video at scale. That's when we were scaling, right? So $32.90 there when we were really spending a lot of money, and $33 per sale. Still breaking even with just the copy alone, not even having to do a video. That template right there is the one I'm going to give you guys at the end of this workshop if you stay till the end. Is that cool? Let me know in the chat if this makes sense so far, guys, and if you totally agree or disagree. All right. So the question is, at this point, a lot of people come up and say, "But Chris, I'm not a copywriter. I just can't write long copy on demand." Right. You know, and it took me a long time too. But here's what I'd say. It's to your detriment to be a skilled copywriter, and here's why. Most traditional copywriters actually have a hard time adjusting to social media, because it's completely different. They tend to backslide using what we call unsubstantiated claims and hype and promises and ridiculous overhyped superlatives in their copy. You know, this is the best thing ever. And it's just ridiculous. And this amazing secret trick that cures all things magically. Best thing ever. Get it here. Yeah, that ain't working these days. But that's what they're used to doing. This is what the legends still teach, right? To this day. Knowing what to talk about is more important than the magic words and overplayed superlatives, guys. People aren't trying to hear it anymore. They're so bombarded with so much, it doesn't land anymore. So stop trying, right? Stop trying so hard. All right. So one of the things that really was big validation for us is, Irina, if you want to hop in here for a moment, her original mentor came back that taught her copywriting. And he was doing really, really well for a long time. And what happened? Go ahead.
Yeah, so when I learned Facebook and then when I was generating those AdSense leads, I was taught by one of my mentors who's now my friend. And what was it? About a year ago, he reached back out to me and he asked me if he can intern in our agency because he wanted to get back on Facebook, and he realized that the copy and the tactics that he was using were not working anymore. And so he wanted to come in and actually learn from me how to write copy on Facebook.
Isn't that amazing? When your mentor comes back to learn from you the very thing they taught you years ago, that's when you know you've done something. You've come full circle. You've done it right. So I just wanted to stop there after this first trade secret. Any chat, any questions, any feedback? What are people saying in the chat there?
Everyone says, yes, it makes sense. Cool. Hell yeah. Awesome. Cool. So everyone seems to be liking it and getting it.
All right. So perfect. So this is the ad just blown up for you guys to show you the actual what's actually happening. There's actually a lot of psychology. There's 12 psychological elements that are included in this. And yes, to be honest, if you had a product that wasn't so new and not a lot of competition, like what Chris has with Spotify Profits, which is quite specialty, you may need to expand this template to make a little bit more of an argument for why your solution is better than the other ones out there. And that's simple to do as well. It's more of a why mine's better than the other, features and benefits, and you know, maybe your unique, how you're different, right? Essentially just add that to this. And
we're still on the yeah, there you go.
Also, it's just delaying a little bit again. Let me do this. Let me stop the share and then turn the screen share off for a moment, and then we'll get back to it here. That way we can, hopefully that should make it work. Let me know when you can see my screen.
You're good now.
All right, cool. Okay, so it's working. We don't have any delays. So this particular one, I just want to read you the headline, guys, to see how different that it is like, you know, someone who an amateur would say, hey, make money with Spotify. You know, it's ridiculous. So I set context. Listen to this. Why getting paid for your online streams is 10 times easier than trying to sell your album from stage, and how you can get paid every time fans listen to your song. Now that sets a lot more context. Now, here's the crazy thing. I use the word easier, which is a derivative of easy, right? And you guys know that's one of those power words, simple and easy and all that. And I use the word how, but I'm not doing how to, right? It's how you. And we don't even like to use the word you a lot in the headline because it can be quite invasive, but we'll get more into that later. So, but what we did is we walked someone through an actual why and a process that they can visualize and attach to, okay? It's no secret that most people don't buy CDs like they used to, but they do stream music all day. What if I told you this actually works to your advantage? Because now artists can get paid every time someone listens to their songs on Spotify. I made $42,000 from online streams in 2017 alone. So much easier just to get people to listen to your music rather than trying to sell your album. So you might as well get paid for it. So guys, you see here, let me just go into the psychology and what this actually is. There's 12 points, 12 things, and this is like the decision-making levers in the brain. The first one, we set context optimal directed elements. Why it's 10 times easier to benefit. You want to set the status quo, which is what most people believe, most people think, right? Rhetorical question that makes your case. What if I told you that I'm accomplishing this? Establish credibility. I personally accomplished this much. Then you set the old world versus the new world. It's much easier to do new world than the old world, and why? Reveal your offer with your features and benefits. Inside my product, you get, boom, first call to action with value justification. You can get my product for X amount compared to Y. List bonuses with value indicators. You also get A, B, C, D with the values attached. Second call to action, preferably with a stacked value drop. The total of this much for only this much. Most people fail because they don't do solution. Most people quit after trying once. Let me help you accomplish X so you can Y, which is let me or let my product get you your transformation. Final call to action, which is just pick up the product name at the link below, right? And the below creative headline is essentially how I accomplished, not how to, how I. Because Facebook does not like promising somebody what you cannot guarantee to deliver. An unsubstantiated claim is some kind of claim that you're telling somebody they're going to experience from a product when 100% of the people who buy it can't have that experience. So if it's like a unique success story, right? You can talk about it, but you can't promise that they can have the same result. The FTC actually says if you're going to make a claim, it has to be where 100% of the customers will experience it every single time. So that's where a lot of people go wrong with the weight loss niche on Facebook, where they go wrong with make money online, where they go wrong with relationships and all that. It's the same thing because they're making unsubstantiated claims. So I'm going to give you guys this template at the end, and it walks through all. It has this up top, like all of this, where what's in the yellow, what's in the gold is kind of the psychological element, and what's in the white right here is kind of like the example based off the template. Okay, and remember when you get this template, remember the words, they're not magic words. So kind of like what if I told you? That's on the template. You can change that to whatever question makes your case. You don't have to keep the what if I told you like it's magic words. There's no magic words here because it's about what you're accomplishing, all right? And sounding natural and saying it like a normal human being, not that jerk at the networking event that's asking you for your card after they just vomited on you about what they're doing with their latest little deal, okay? So that's our trade secret number 2 is this template. Literally, what's his name? Roderick. He designed our label, our code label, and our logo. And he took this, and I'll actually show you guys the screenshot of it. He took this and used he had his client's copywriter, who they say he was like professional, been doing it a long time, ran his own ad to his product and got a 50% ROI. return on ad spend. Roderick, non-copywriter, hasn't been doing this long, took this template, filled in the blanks in French. This is not just English. This is literally in French. This is because these elements, guys, are psychological things. There's no language barrier here. If you know how to translate from English to French, you can translate this. And so he got a 2x return on ad spend. Like 2x return, like 100%. So he doubled what his client's genius copywriter did. And he's not a copywriter. All right, and I'll show you guys that screenshot from where he told me that. So that's trade secret number 2. Just want to check in with the chat real quick. Irina, is there any quick questions or any feedback there for people? Does this make sense to everybody? There's probably a lot to handle at once.
Chat is actually quiet.
Okay, because they're all listening. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to trade secret number 3, guys. And this is how to cast your pole in blue oceans. Here's the big one, guys. A lot of you have been like, yeah, right. Let's see what this is about. Well, okay, here we are. How to create qualified prospects out of thin air. All right, so a very small number of elite marketers know and use this tactic. And why compete with everyone else when you don't have to? Okay, so these 5 states of awareness, I'll tell you what they are. They were originally written by Eugene Schwartz in his book Breakthrough Advertising. Keith Krantz then took this and framed it as an acronym called UPSIDE, which worked really, really well. I love the acronym, and you guys, he's awesome. Okay, and just a divergent thinker like us. And so think of it this way: people go through 5 stages of awareness when they enter into the awareness of your product or of you. And one is that they're unaware of the problem or the solution. Like they're literally unaware, like they don't even know that they have a problem. Okay, might be someone who just didn't even know that they have a problem in the first place, but it's there. Now that's really hard to do because you have to convince them first that they have a problem, and then educate them on what the solution is, and then sell them, which is a lot to do, and it's considered the hardest type of ad to do. But elite marketers and copywriters, they know how to do that. Okay. And then we go a little more into problem aware. Someone knows they have a problem, but they don't know what their solution is. They may have an idea, but they're not sure, right? So they're problem aware, but not of the solution. And then this is where most people show up. This is the crowded space, is the solution aware. So that means they're aware of the solution, but not necessarily of your product. Okay, so it's like, I know that if I want to get my back fixed, that I probably need to go to a chiropractor. A chiropractor is the solution. Which chiropractor, they don't know yet. And see, that's where most people market. That's where most people traditionally market. And it's like in certain niches, it still works really well, and you can do it. And that template that we are using, that we're going to be giving you, is a solution-aware template. It's meant to get the low-hanging fruit, okay? So make you sales right away, get you results right away, small wins right away. But then the next level down is when they're actually aware of you or your product. If you are the product, then obviously aware of you. And so product aware, but not sold yet, which means you have to do more of a selling job. And then the last one is someone who's sold. They just need the deal. They're deal aware. They basically have decided they want it. They just need the right terms. They need the right price. They need the right benefits. They need the right deliverables. They need the process, right? They need the guarantee. They need all of that. They need the package. They need it to be presented. And so it's super easy to do number 1, deal aware people, but super hard to do number 5, and barely anybody knows how to do it. Well, what's so great about Facebook is that we focus on attempting to show people how to do mostly problem aware, all right? We've got templates that help reach people at a problem and educate them on the solution, education-based, value-based selling. Now, the thing is, that's not where we stop, because we actually have unaware templates as well to make somebody totally aware of a problem they don't have. Like, we have templates for that. We know how to do that, right? So you see UPSIDE, Keith's certain acronym, right? U, unaware, P, problem aware, S, solution aware, Y, where you or your product, D, deal aware. Okay. So the red ocean, if you've ever heard of like the blue ocean strategy, essentially means in a blue ocean, there's plenty of fish. But in a red ocean, that means there's so many people casting their lines that it's just blood in the water, because there's sharks in there, there's people shooting fish, they're casting their poles, they're casting nets. It's a war in there, right? It's a red ocean. You don't want to play in a red ocean. You want to play in a blue ocean. And Facebook is so perfect for making someone aware of a problem they either didn't have, or making them aware of a solution to a problem they didn't know the solution for. And so a lot of our messaging, although we have solution aware templates and product aware templates as well, this is where the money's at, because let's look at this. If you have someone who's unaware of a problem or solution, they're not a prospect. Anybody else in marketing training would tell you, don't focus on those people, they're not your market. But if you were to take a person and then say, hey, did you know you had a problem and it's this? And did you know there's actually a solution for it and it's this? And let me show you how that works, and let me tell you why. And by the way, I've got a product for that. If you can do all those things, then you can effectively create prospects out of thin air where they were not before. This is how you can scale and get out of the regular targeting, where you think you have to be very specific with your targeting on Facebook, because only those people are the ones that are going to respond. And you're right, they will if you're writing a solution aware ad. Now, just to keep in mind, some of you may be asking, well, like with my product, is it all 5 levels? Some products and some niches are all 5 levels. There's people in all 5 levels of awareness. And some products, there's only a few, like, razor blades. Like, that's pretty much solution aware. There's no, there's not anyone that probably doesn't know at this point that razor blades help shave hair off your skin. Okay. So, but there's a way to actually do a lot of that you call, by making your mechanism really unique, that you can actually start more problem aware. But ultimately, not every single awareness level is going to be for every product, but you can get most of them. Okay. And usually there's going to be an S curve where there's a majority of your prospects. So if you're in a niche where you can make your message a problem aware or unaware, and message them properly, you can start creating a lot more prospects. Okay. This is how we've been able to have ads that have ran for years that just continue to create new prospects all the time. That's how. Okay. And that's how you create them out of thin air. Because when you play in a red ocean, this is like what it's like. Only one slice remains. You're fighting with everyone else for the last slice of pizza. And honestly, this is what we find that happens with people. People get beaten up. Okay, so that's a joke. I'm just kidding. But I thought it was so hilarious that I found the pizza image, and then we don't want this to happen to you. We don't want you to get viciously beaten, during a fight over a slice of pizza. But that's what's happening online, guys, metaphorically. People are beating each other up. The landscape is getting more and more competitive. Costs are going up. How are you going to differentiate yourself? This is how, okay? So how do you use Upside to find blue oceans? Problem aware and unaware converts like low-hanging fruit if you know how to message them correctly. You need not mention your solution until you reveal your offer. And the best way to lead in is with a story. And stories that tap belief systems. So before we go into what that actually is, I'll show you an example here, a couple of them. One Irina did, one I did. I just want to double check in again real quick. Irina, is there any other questions in the chat? Does this make sense to everybody? Does the concept make sense? Or
we do have a comment from Michael. He says, you're really going against the tendency when people say push on the pain point. Make them feel the pain.
The problem is, and here's why. Because that's traditional marketing speak. Because Facebook doesn't like negative ads. What we actually do is something more of a sandwich technique, where we start with positive and the aspiration, and then we mention the pain and the problem and the challenges, okay? and then we sandwich it where we then finish with another positive. And that's the way we found that Facebook ad reviewers like ads the best, because understand that there is a part of your optimization that comes from a third-party company that is reviewing your ads from a human being. And that human being decides whether they like your ad or not based on reading it. And it's their subjective opinion. And they're told that the more negative an ad is, the lower your score is. And in fact, Facebook also has their own artificial intelligence inside of that algorithm. As a lot of you know, that AI algorithm literally created a different language other than English to communicate with the other servers with, because they thought English was too ineffective and too inefficient. That's how smart that artificial intelligence is. That artificial intelligence can understand context in ads. And so when someone's like harping on the pain and twisting the knife, so to speak, in that traditional copywriter way, that makes your scores go down, your relevance scores go down, your quality scores go down, you get more negative feedback, and Facebook doesn't like it, and they're not going to reward you with a good user experience. Because you have, and don't take me the wrong way here, but I walked through Facebook ads in Austin in the compliance department, and you know who's in there reviewing ads? It's all millennials, and I watched them, and they're going through and looking at ads, and they don't understand marketing and advertising and how much twisting the knife and twisting the pain makes buying decisions. But also, guys, they're not informed buying decisions. They're making it out of evoking emotion. That's one thing. So that's a whole other story. But they don't like it. They disapprove ads for that negativity. And they say, we suggest you focus on your mechanism, on your product, which is why I work within those guidelines and we make our mechanism our hero. And there's a way to do that, right? So that algorithm can tell if something has a negative bias or a positive bias. And when your ad has a negative bias, it won't do as well as a positive bias. And more people are going to hide the ad because it's negative. They don't want to deal with it. There's enough negativity on Facebook already. So when you have that much going on and it's that negative, it's going to work to your detriment, and the ad will not sustain. People will click spam, hide the post, I don't want to see this, block this person. And that causes all of your engagement mechanisms and all your scores to go down, and your ad's going to stop working, because Facebook values the positive user experience over everything else. So we make sure that we clarify the problems and the pain, but we don't make the whole ad about that. That's why our epic process is engage, which is kind of that sandwich technique, present, which is presenting the problems and the challenges. Okay, there's the negativity, right? But we still frame some of it positively. Then illustrate, which is illustrate the solution, educate them, okay? And then convert, which is call to actions. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. For those of you who are, copywriters and are peeking in here and trying to, your frame of reference is based off of funnels, not Facebook. And so you see it work really well because that's what you've been taught, and it's called the flashlight of the focus. That's what you focused on, so it's confirmation bias. But I promise you, when I stepped away from that and I started to do it this way, I saw it work way, 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 way better than anything traditional or pain evoking on Facebook. Promise you. Okay. So remember that story ad I shared? Okay. Look how long this is. It's like 1,500 words. Now, I don't recommend that these days, but this was my first one. I just wanted to show you guys. I tapped the belief system of the law of attraction, and I made an argument after telling my story of my experience and what I learned from it, and then brought people to the point of a logical conclusion to literally go buy a piece of software to have a blog so they could speak their own message, so they could have their own thing, start a business from it, all of that, right? Selling them a blog. And this thing works so incredibly well. 1,500 words. I never thought people would read it all the way through, but it was amazing, and the comments were insane, right? So, it was nuts, and it worked so well for so long, and we used the same methodology. So then we just did one recently, because some of you are like, okay, well, that was a couple years ago. Things change fast on Facebook. You're absolutely right. So Irina wrote this for Keith Krantz, selling his book, going to his free plus shipping book, okay? And I want to show you this long copy one. It's about 800 words, but I want to show you, I took a screenshot this morning. This is a lifetime, okay? Spent about $13,000, $14,000, $15,000 maybe per purchase. Okay, 14, 15 bucks per purchase. The average cart value is about 40 or 50 bucks, and then there's a recurring upsell monthly on the back end, which has made this more than profitable. Okay, but this is the actual ad, and I'll let Irina very quickly talk about it as well. So go ahead, Irina.
Can't really see the ad, but the whole point of this ad was because since we were selling the Facebook training and kind of like how to advance your Facebook skills, the whole point of this ad was to relate to people who have tried some Facebook training, but it didn't really work. And I started by, you can obviously see it in the headline. Like, if I learned anything from scaling Facebook ads in the last 8 years, that's a steady ROI, it's certainly this. So I'm accomplishing, like, if you look at the headline, I'm accomplishing quite a few things. For one, I established my own credibility saying that I've been running Facebook ads for 8 years. That's a long time in the Facebook game, and you can pretty much know Facebook in and out. Also, I established that we can, in fact, sustain steady ROI. And I also kind of go against the conventional wisdom of, that you have to adjust to algorithm changes and you have to like constantly innovate and like create, new creative things. And I say that, the changes actually have little to do with your ability to scale. So that's, in a way, that's curiosity, but that also puts the context that I'm going to be talking about, scaling. I'm going to be talking about Facebook and, that I've been doing it for a long time. And then in the ad, I go more into the detail, and I actually share my story of how I started and how I, flushed a couple hundreds, if not more, down the Facebook drain. And it's very relatable because, how many of us haven't flushed money down the Facebook drain, And so that helps establish that, like, hey, I feel you. I know what you're going through. I've gone through it, but here's what I discovered, and here's how it got better, and I can show you the way, in a way. Like, that's kind of like, the the very gist of it. Obviously, there's like a lot more, but I also pass on credibility to Keith while I'm sharing the story. Like, hey, when we found Keith, like, it actually helped us a lot because we got certified by, Dominate Web Media when we were just getting started and all that. So I don't know if that's what you wanted me to talk about, Chris, or if there was
100%. 100%.
Yeah. So yeah. And this ad is still running, right?
Yeah, still running. We set it up in May, and it's made over 1,000 purchases now.
Yeah.
So yeah. I
think that's what I like about the long copy. It's not, you don't have to be like pushing out copy every week because it like burns out or people just like negatively react to it. Like, this copy has been running for like 4, 5, 6 months now, 5 months, a little less. And like, it still works. Yeah. And it still works, and it's gonna, it's gonna keep running for a little while too, because it's a good copy. It's positive. I'm not talking, I do push, like, I not necessarily push on the pain. I just share my pain. I don't tell people like, hey, imagine like what it's like to suffer, from your Facebook or something like that. I just share like, hey, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just, swinging the bat in the dark, hoping I would hit something.
Yep. And people empathize, and they totally like relate. I want you guys to see something here. Oh, anything else, Irina?
Nope. We do have a few questions, but I think they'll be good till the end. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, and just remember, guys, one thing I want to point out here. If you see this, does this look like an ad? It does not. It actually looks like a regular post because there's no below creative headline or no button. Now, do we always advocate that? No. However, there are more times than not that we use problem-aware or unaware messaging like this, because this is problem-aware messaging. People are, they think the solution is the Facebook ads they have, and we go, no, it's actually a totally different. Your solution is actually something completely different than what you think it is. And that's, once again, we bring them to like, you think you know the solution, but here's the actual problem, that you do understand, but the actual solution is different. So it's a problem aware ad, and it looks like it's just a regular post. So people go in disarmed. They're not like, okay, what are they trying to sell me? It's an ad. There's commercial intent. They're trying to get me to buy something. Like, none of that. And this is why the click rates and the engagement is insane on here, guys. And you'll see one of the things here, you'll see this guy, Mike Renard, right here, liking this post. Mike, actually, I just had an exit call with him from our beta program. He runs ads from one of the best copywriters that is out there, Kevin Rogers, Copy Chief. And he just had a major event just in the last few days that Keith Krantz was at as well. And Keith did a presentation showing people a lot of this, engagement stuff that Keith and I talk about. And he was quoting and referencing us in terms of our social rules of engagement we talk about, and our long copy ads, and how well we've done with Digital Marketer and a few of our other clients. And he literally said on stage, I'm going to get this footage, guys, but he literally said on stage, and this is Keith Krantz, he's one of the biggest players in the game, said, I literally believe Chris is the greatest Facebook copywriter on the planet. And I know coming from me saying it is a little like vain, I guess, but I'm going to find that, and I'm going to put that inside the members area when I can find it, because that's what he said. It blew me away. He said it a couple days ago. And so I helped Mike with this, and now Kevin's stuff is, Kevin teaches traditional copywriting, and yet Mike is using my formulas to sell his stuff. I think it's hilarious, right? But it's working really, really well. So guys, here is the process, because this particular ad that Irina wrote, we templatized this. This whole full 800-word monstrosity, we have that as a template, okay? It's templatized. But here's the framework for you guys, okay? So when we do a story formula, which we use Epic for more than just stories, we use it for all of our ads, right? But when we're using it for a story, here's what it is. You've got the engage, which is all about setting of the stage and opening the loop. And what we mean by opening the loop is setting the proper expectations, making sure that you deliver on them by the end of the ad. Then you've got the present, which is the struggles and the challenges and the turning point for you traditional copywriters. Yes, of course, we've got that in there, but we frame it in a much more positive way. Obviously, there's some pain and twisting of the knife that we do, but it's nothing like what traditional is, okay? Because we don't want to make it a negative sentiment. Then illustrate is you bring them through the journey of discovery in the story, which usually that journey of discovery walks them through the process of understanding what the solution can be and why. And then you've got the transformation, which is essentially saying, here's the after effect. The before, now here's the after. And then the convert part is revealing the code, which is where you teach them, give them a breakdown, give them a process, give them something to follow, and then the call to action. Works really well, works all the time as long as you follow the steps, and it's that simple. So, any questions on this Epic Story formula? Some people like to refer to this as a hero's journey thing, where a lot of people teach the hero's journey type storytelling, which I've studied the hero's journey storytelling, but I will tell you that I have found that following that exactly on Facebook is not as effective as this particular one. There's different social elements that matter for some reason on Facebook. I'm still trying to even understand why that's the case, although this will follow generally a hero's journey arc, but this is much more strategic and specific in terms of being able to get people to move forward with decision-making levers being pulled in their brain. So works really, really well. And yeah, Irene, any questions there?
Yeah, so there are a few that I think might be a good idea to address them right now. So Victor, I think this is a quick one. Victor is asking, did you write your ad for this webinar using level of awareness 4 or 3?
Haha. The ad that you guys saw, the one that it's been running, that was actually a solution aware ad in my message, but my video was a problem aware ad. So my hope was that the video was educating you about a different type of solution with Facebook. And then my ad, my copy, was meant to be complementary to the video. And so it basically made the case for the video and talked about why it works, which is the next step along the continuum. So I started with problem aware, saying, look, here's the problems that you're facing with algorithm shifts and changes and scaling and ROI. And here's how we accomplish this. And I brought them to Solution Aware in the video, and then encouraged them to read. They click the text, see more, and that makes the case and solidifies the solution so that you have now wanted to click on and register and take the next step. I'll tell you guys, from that ad, our opt-in rates, I actually have all this, I just didn't keep it, I closed out all my tabs. We're running at 78% opt-in rates from the webinar registration, which helps Facebook optimize even better. And our link click-through rates are between 5 and 10%, which, as a lot of you who have been doing Facebook ads know, that an average link click-through rate on a Facebook ad is 1%. So we're talking about 5x to 10x more clicks. And then you've got the first step converting to the second step at almost 80%. And my relevant scores are all 9s and 10s. Like, I might go back to that a little bit here if we can get through it and show you guys those numbers live, just to help you understand like the differences. If you go look at your own ads and you look at your link click-through rates, I would imagine that you might be able to get 2 or 3 or 4% link click-through rates with short copy, but you're not pre-qualifying those people like this ad did. I even had somebody who told me in that ad, hey, this stuff doesn't work. And he tried to make a case for it. And I'm thinking, so I just did a 20-minute video and a long copy ad that is getting 5 to 10 times higher, better results than the average. And he's sitting here telling me it's not working. I thought it was hilarious this morning. I actually posted in our Conversion Coder group. And I'm just like, look, at some people just still can't wrap their head around it. So if he's here, I wouldn't shame him like that. I mean, obviously, how would you know this unless someone presented this to you? Because this is counterintuitive. This is not natural. This is not the way marketing is taught. But I'm telling you guys, this works better than anything. Okay, there's a few of us who talk, marketers who know and understand this stuff, and we kind of like laugh about it, like, man, you know, if people got it, it'd be a little tougher. But right now, it's really good. It's really good pickings. So yeah, any other quick questions there, Irene?
Yes, hopefully quick.
Okay.
So Shane is saying, I think what you're presenting here is great for my general needs. I have a specific needs to sell concert tickets. Having a hard time understanding how this will help with that.
Yeah, that's a good point. So so you're talking about a very solution aware ad, right? But in this particular case, what needs to be accomplished is the experience that someone is going to feel if they go to that concert. And you see the difference is for most concert ticket ads we see, it's about, hey, get tickets for this particular thing, and with an image, right? And it's kind of like, okay, all right. And if you're already totally sold on this artist, it's like like product aware, right? That's easy to do. But what you have not done is, or maybe you have personally, but what you want to keep in mind is, first off, it's an integrated strategy, kind of like what we did with Chris, where we were doing video view objectives with a music video from that particular artist and pixeling and building a huge audience of video views, and then encouraging them to buy the album. And from that, we retarget them with another music video, or at least a snippet of the music video they had before, which is giving them the experience. They get to watch, see, feel, hear the music, and say, this is what we're going to do with, this is what you're going to experience, essentially. And where most people fall short is that we do a lot more of the promoting inside the newsfeed, where we say, look, when you get your ticket here, you're going to get, this extra thing. You could buy the swag upsell. You can get VIP access. Like, all of these things can happen when you get the ticket from here, for a limited time, and then the prices are going to go up. So you can use a lot more of the promotional formulas in terms of letting them know everything they're going to get and experience as well. And also the deliverables can be benefits. Like, and what I mean by deliverables is, like, if you have features and benefits of a product, in this particular case, it's like, all access for 4 hours beyond, you get this, here are your favorite artists, like, you know, relive the greatest moments of relive the greatest moments of this artist's song. You can bring them through, you can specifically state experiences. So the thing that I'm talking about here is a lot of people are thinking, well, you have a specific template and it's like a magic bullet for everything. It's not, okay? Templates work, but they're limiting in nature. And once you understand the EPIC elements, we have worksheets, we have processes you go through to ask yourself specific questions about your product and your offer, so that you know how to craft and understand how to present this to them, so that you can do a lot more of the promotions in the newsfeed, and it gets you better qualified people before they even click over to buy the ticket. So hopefully that makes sense.
And last but not least, where was it? How would you use this to get leads for real estate agents?
It's a great one. I'm going to be speaking in January at Vegas at a high-end real estate mastermind hosted by John Sheplack, who has an agency that works specifically with realtors. He's a trainer, and he's got the #1 real estate agent in Canada, as well as a host of the top 20 agents in the United States. And talking with him, I used to be a real estate agent myself for years, from 2004 to 2002, 2003 to 2008, from 2009. And so I understand that game. And the difference is there's more education and value inside of your posts, where a lot of people just try to do everything they can to get you over to your website and not even tell you a house price. Like, it's more of a value-based way. And there's one technique that I talk with Sheplack about where they run 2 videos in tandem. One that is like a branding value video, and then followed right behind with more of a specific call to action, but it still has value in it. And it's a continuation of the first one. And they find it work really, really well. And so one of the things we were going to do was work with them to templatize a few real estate specific templates. And at the right time afterwards in January, we're probably going to add those to the course for free, as well as some of the other templates we're going to templatize with our beta clients as well, that we're going to be adding back to this course over time. We continue to have exit interviews with those in our program. And we're gathering those case studies and taking their ads they've done and creating templates from some of them and helping after we've helped them tweak it and make it better. So a lot more templates are coming, but I would encourage you that it's not about the real estate specific template. It's about understanding the methodology, which allows you to create an ad even without a template. So that's what I would say there.
Awesome. That's all for now.
Okay, so guys, we have neared that point where I've showed you the 3 trade secrets, and now you've understood a little bit more of our methodology and our thinking and our philosophy, okay, and know that this works for as much as you've seen here. And so my question would be, did you, not did I, see what I mean? That's why I change stuff, guys. That's why I keep it off full screen. Did you get what you came here for? That's my question. So if you can put in the chat real quick, did you get what you came here for? And was it what you expected? I'd love to see if you could put in the chat, did you get what you came here for? Was it what you expected? And was it worth your time? Okay, wanted to be respectful of everybody's time. I know we had some technical hiccups, so we actually are an hour and 45 minutes in rather than an hour and a half, so we lost about 15 minutes. And my question at this point is, if this is all the case, do you feel like you could create better ads from what you've learned? And if so, just let me know in the chat if this helps. Just the concepts themselves. Some of you may want to try direct to purchase just by itself. And so I'm going to give you guys this template here in a minute, the direct to cart, the solution template. But what I would ask at first is I'm going to let you guys know about the offer that we have for you, which, like I've said at the beginning, we have an offer. Some of you are going to want to continue with us. Most of you probably won't. That's totally fine. We wanted to be able to give a lot of value and help you guys understand this philosophy and this methodology. But there's going to be some of you that want to learn more about this, that want to use our templates, want to use our processes and things like that. So I just want to let you guys know of the offer that we have for you here. No pressure, no high risk, no high pressure stuff here. Just want to let you guys know. And I'm going to do that, just walk through this in about 5-10 minutes or so, and then I'll give you guys a template. Does that sound good to you guys? So just let me know that. I have your permission there. And Irina, is there any quick updates in the chat from the questions I just asked?
People just saying it was awesome training. John is reminding you to compare video to long copy ad results. Difference.
Thank you, John. All right.
Yes, learn new tricks. Yes, I learned something different today. Going to test this, found it very useful, very valuable. Thanks for your time as well. Yes, go ahead. Yes, 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 yes.
Nice. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer that long copy verse video here in just after this, after we show you guys what we've got, because I want to get you guys out of here too. Be respectful of your time. Okay. So what if you had a tested and proven ad template and multiple ones for every level of upside, as well as a video template for every level to deploy in your ads, for every awareness level? And if so, then introducing Code of Conversions, which code is an acronym for Context Optimal Directed Elements. And you'll understand in module 1 and 2 why we call it that. It's a 6-module course with some bonuses, but the first module, the social rules of engagement, this is literally, people said it was worth the price of admission right here. Module 2, audience engagement formulas. Module 3, fail-safe epic ad templates, text ones. Module 4, the long copy story ads. Module 5, epic video formulas along with the text templates that go with the videos, okay? And Module 6, optimization and troubleshooting. We literally have a troubleshooting checklist that says if your click ratios are off, if this is off, do this, check this. Full process we follow in the agency whenever we have to troubleshoot any ads that aren't working, because it does happen. So number 1, Module 1, how to use our social rules of engagement to create ads that convert and sustain long-term, okay? Number 2 is all about the headlines, how to engage your audience with the right below creative and above creative headlines at the right level of awareness, or what we call upside. How to use our fill-in-the-blank ad templates that we use every day in our agency to get high conversions for our clients. And how to use our long copy epic story formula if, in fact, you're going to go to a problem-aware or unaware audience. And you can use story formulas also for solution-aware and product-aware as well. It works really, really well to allow you to create qualified prospects out of thin air with those problem and unaware levels, right? How to follow our video ad formulas and outlines we use ourselves to create high converting ad videos for our clients. How to identify your ad metrics properly so you can adjust to the right strategy and scale your ads at the right time. And if all of you are wondering, this works for business owners, local businesses, info marketers, consultants, and e-commerce. Most of our templates are based around digital, but we've had mortgage brokers, we've had, professionals. They can use the same epic methodology and even the examples from a lot of our other templates, and still they have gotten amazing results in our group. Amazing results, and works very, very well. So this is not about the optimization and the template itself, guys. This is about creating a better message. And when you understand how to create that, you become very dangerous, okay? And that's what happens going through this. I'll show you some of that. So if you want to take advantage of our exact frameworks, processes, outlines, and templates that we use in our agency every day for our clients, then Code of Conversions is for you. And inside this course, rules of engagement, you get it, speak the language of Facebook so your ad blends in to stand out, pre-qualified prospects, proven headline formulas, higher click-through rates, and attract 2 to 5x more Facebook users to read your ads. 18 proven headline formulas above and below creative, formulas for every level of awareness. Epic ad templates at creating ad copy within minutes, actually, sometimes, using our 105% NNS framework for going direct to a sale, how to reverse engineer your offer so you know exactly what to say in your ad. This is crucial, guys. This is key, right? So the epic story formula, how to go into blue oceans and create customers. The video ad formulas, follow the video outlines to make videos that do not require a teleprompter. We did this with Digital Marketer, and their videos along with the ad templates helped us even, like we have some of these templatized, literally going to like a $97 offer, direct to sale, and working and making sales at $30 to $40 to $50 per sale, okay? Then the optimization and troubleshooting, how to read your metrics actively so you know what to do next, how to optimize, how to diagnose and solve issues easily with troubleshooting checklists, scale your ads sustainably without losing all your profit. And once again, guys, this is all proven on what is really more like 2 million now. So what's your cost to come with us? Here's what you get. These values that you see on the right, guys, This is what I would literally sell this for on its own.
We can't see them.
Oh, it's doing it again?
Well, yeah, now you're good.
Okay. Just a little bit of a delay probably.
Yeah.
So like I said, guys, I don't BS people. I don't fluff people. I think you can see that about me by now. I'll answer any question directly. And I'm telling you, these values here, these are very conservative. This is not marketer speak where they try to balloon the value when it's not really there. I can promise you, pieces of this I have sold for even more than the value I put on the right side. And my consulting itself varies from $800 to $1,500 an hour, depending on the scope. And so just my time in here alone is something that I want you guys to understand there's a lot of value here, okay? So we wanted to make this available to you guys. And my real question is at this point, okay, let's step back for a sec. If all this did was increase your return on ad spend by 50%, what would that do for you? Okay, so the value of all this over 5,994, so basically 600 bucks or 6,000 bucks on that. You're not going to pay even 5,000. You're not even going to pay 2,500 today. Okay, so one-time payment, and actually, guys, today on the webinar only, I'm changing this to $14.95 for you. Okay, so here's what you do: click the link in the chat, secure your seat in the course. After payment, you'll be directed to the confirmation page. You'll receive your login credentials. You can jump into the course and begin using the code immediately. All right. And here's another thing. What if you follow the templates and they don't seem to work as well as you expect them to? Okay, I got a bonus for you. Recorded Q&A webinars for each module where I go over people's ads and help them get better in understanding how to fill in the gaps, how to go over their messaging, and going over some of the templates. You see every possible question asked by Beta Code members. We've recorded these webinars. They were all 2.5 to 3 hour long webinars. You'll be able to get total clarity on teaching as well as see the examples. And you get to learn by watching the feedback of others' funnels and ads. 5 live webinars. I would say they were about $100 each, and I think that's really low. That's a $500 value right there. Okay, so that's simple enough, right? But what if after the live webinars you still have a question, right? So we want to help you guys. The conversion, we call it now the Conversion Coders Facebook group, okay? So Coda Conversions Facebook group, you have the ability to get feedback from informed members who understand what you're looking to accomplish, where you can actually speak the same language to someone that's gonna not tell you, hey, use one short, quick headline and call out the pain. Like, they're not gonna tell you that there, okay? In fact, I actually post stuff that other people say when they're arguing with me in there, and we all laugh about it. They're like, yeah, they just don't know. And what's going to happen here, guys, is eventually here very soon, we're going to charge a monthly $100 fee to be a part of that group where we do monthly webinars teaching what's working right now in optimization with case studies and what we're doing with our clients. And right now, you guys get lifetime access to that to where you don't have to pay if you pick it up today. So how do I make sure I get maximum value out of my ads and funnels? Well, I did this 3.5 hour webinar on retargeting schemes. I actually showed the full path for digital marketer, what we did in our retargeting, where it goes 5 to 6 to 7 layers in on exactly how to do that. And I even gave the full repository of the ads for you to even see. And I walked through all of the psychology on retargeting and how we maximize value. We even got to a point where we were making sales to a $300 recurring monthly cost for $60, $70 per sale. We made like 89 of them last time I checked within the course of a couple months. So you'll see our full proprietary process on when to do what, understand why most retargeting doesn't work, and understand the audience to budget ratio formula you need to be able to do this right. We literally cut our highest profile clients, which is DM, digital marketer, CPA in half using this exact strategy. And I reveal it all on that webinar, okay? So all the bonuses you get. We have a fourth one we did that Irina did with Keith called an empathy map session. It was about a 3-hour webinar with Keith, asking him questions, going through and creating an empathy map to help create stories. It's very, very powerful. We got people say that was the greatest webinar they'd ever been on. I'll show you that. But before that, I just want to finish the offer and get you guys that template, okay? So as a code member, everything you get all together, okay, $58.95 in total value here, bonus content, $20.92 there. I want you guys to understand how much you're getting because we are steeply discounting this right now. And the reason we're doing $14.95 on the webinar is simply because we want you to take action and not procrastinate, because you want to get it. You know, you probably do for some of you here, right? Not all of you. Okay, respect that. But some of you here, and you won't ever get off the fence unless we give you a real incentive. So I'm about to drop the link here for you guys. But, you know,
I already did.
Okay, all right, there you go. $7,688 in real value, not fluffed value. Some other marketer, if they did this much, probably do like 20,000 in value. But hey, guys, this is real value for you, okay? And here's the thing. So a lot of people are like, well, so what about your guarantee? Well, look at it this way. I'll even pay you to complete the program and get results. And what I mean by that is this. I don't actually offer money back guarantees. You know, a lot of people say, hey, you know, if you don't like it, just no questions asked, tell us, we'll give you a full refund. Let's be real with each other. These templates are proven to work. This training is proven to work. The beta program shows that. You'll see all these screenshots here in a moment of people. This works. So if you don't like it, then that means either you didn't really apply yourself and use this, or you're like one of those marketers who goes and buys stuff and always refunds because you know you can. Well, I'm eliminating that because I don't want that type of mindset of a freebie seeker inside my community at all. I think it's toxic. I think it's a cancer. And so I want serious business owners only. And I will say that if you're in like make money online, biz opportunity, you know, things like that, I would just say that you're going to have a hard time even with this stuff, because ultimately at the end of the day, this forces you to kind of be real with everything that's going on inside there. And Facebook just doesn't like your market, you know? And so buy this at your own risk if you're in those niches, but understand that, you know, if you have your accounts disapproved or as disapproved, don't come to me because we don't recommend it, right? You can buy it and you'll learn a lot about it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a foolproof plan for you to be able to just skate by, okay? Because Facebook makes their own decisions. Facebook giveth, Facebook taketh away, okay? So here's what I will do for those who actually come in and apply what they're doing, okay? Go through the entire program, apply the training, record your results. We have a worksheet for that. Show your work, which is basically you go through the setup process, fill out the worksheets, place an ad, get results, like negative or positive results. When you do, and you show this, we're going to book a 1 hour free of consulting credit with me personally. And here's why selfishly I want to do that. I don't have anything to sell you. I don't have a high ticket. We sometimes put on live workshops. We don't even have one planned right now. We're talking about one in January. But ultimately, I want to see how this works for you, and I can offer tips and suggestions on your ask to get better. But also I want to be able to record that and just use that as a frame of reference so that we can get better in our agency. It gives us more scope and perspective, okay? And it makes this course better because if there's anything that's not clear, I can address it and optimize the course as we continue to optimize this and re-record modules with more updated stuff, because mostly all of this course, except for some of the optimization techniques, is all evergreen. It's stuff that's worked for us from day one and still works for us, okay? So if you join us today, then you'll get it for $14.95. And after the webinar ends, it's going to go up to $19.95 for 48 hours, okay? And then after that, it's going to go to the full price for $29.95 is the full price, guys. Let me go here just to show you. This is the actual sales page. And you'll see, I'll just come down here right here. The regular price is $29.99. That's what it sells for on codaconversions.com, okay? But I want to show you what you get. So first off, some of the testimonials, you're way over delivering, best course on ads I've ever taken, agree, loving the social rules of engagement. That's Mike, the guy who's working for Kevin. Damn, Chris, leveraging my expertise. Your work is outstanding and in size, which you share even more. I did a few online courses yet, never experienced this value before. Maybe I should write a testimonial. First time ever managed to get a relevant score of 10. Veet. Thanks, buddy. Brandon Carter, some of you know who he is. He is a fitness guru, YouTube sensation, major influencer, content amazing, the best copywriting course ever. So lots of good stuff here. Roderick, here's that one that I was talking about where he said his client's copywriter got 50%. He said, I've been using what you taught on the calls, getting 2-to-1 results. 2-to-1 results. Client's copywriter only got 50%. I said, can you show that? He says, I just copy and pasted your formula. And he did show that actual ad inside of our Facebook group.
And another
oh, go ahead.
For Roderick, real quick, for those of you who may or may not be are going to be writing copy in a different language, if you're wondering whether it works or not, Roderick is actually in France and he's writing his copy in French. So this formula works for any language. Is just basically teaching you how to think and how to think about copy. So just wanting to address that.
Exactly, 100%. It translates, and there's others that have been doing it too in other languages. So Kenneth Todd said to us after the empathy map session that Irina did, that is one of the best calls I've ever been on. I've invested in a lot of courses over the years and spent a lot of cash, and that call was probably one of the most powerful ever. Thank you and great work. Tim commented on it, said, if you're shooting for the absolute best and most usable, actionable, implementable, and transformational rubber meets the road Facebook ad training of its kind, you have far exceeded your goals and intentions. I knew this was going to be good, but this has been way better than good. I mean, some of his click rates, he's got like 6, 7, and 8% link click-through rates. That doesn't happen, guys, usually.
And another thing with Tim, he when we did our initial beta test webinar and I shared my story, the one that I actually shared with you guys today about the writing, if I know anything about, scaling Facebook ads, he changed that ad. He took that ad as a kind of base and implemented to his, quilting.
Mm-hmm.
He has a quilting business. He implemented it to that within like the first 2 days after we did the webinar. And he was getting 200 ROI right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually went up to 300. Without even taking the course, he just implemented right away. And as he was going through the course, he was, implementing more things. But the initial ad that he wrote based on the ad that I wrote was, getting him 200 to 300 ROI right off the bat.
Not insane.
So do you guys provide feedback in English for ads written in Spanish?
I'm sorry, I can't. I know a little bit of broken Spanish, but not enough to be able to help there. So you would have to translate for yourself, because yes, I know that the way that it's worded and word structure is different. It's almost the opposite in terms of the phonetics. So, but you can translate yourself, but I can't say that I can do that. There might be somebody else who knows how to do it well in the group, I'm sure at this point. So that might be the only way. Any other questions?
Another question we had during your presentation that I kind of skipped, I figured it would be good for the end, is Michael was asking, so a copy such as 80% of people don't reach their targets is not as good ad as how to reach your targets 99% of the time. That was addressed for the, being positive on Facebook and not negative. So
is he making a statement or is he asking a question?
It's a question. So which copy would be better?
One that reaches 99% or 80%?
Well, no, I'm assuming this is a headline that he has. And so one of the statements is 80% of people don't reach their targets. So it's one example. And then he's comparing it to how to reach your target 99% of the time.
I guess I'm still not understanding his question, though. I mean, our context with our headlines reaches more people and gets higher clickers.
No, I don't think that's what he's asking. He's asking that as being his headline.
Oh, okay. I would never say the how-to, because you're trying to you're giving them a promise of something, which is a little subjective, which is probably still going to get approved because it's not given a money claim or a specific result, and it's kind of a subjective thing. But if all I see is the difference there is the 80% versus the 99%, is that the difference, or is there something else different in his two headlines?
Well, the way it's phrased is, so 80% of people don't reach their targets, ... So that's one opening. And the second one, how to reach your targets 99% of the time. So he's trying to make it more.
Yeah. I would actually say the exact method I use to reach my targets 99% of the time. I wouldn't even say how to. I would say how I, and use it and illustrate that with what I'm doing and actually deliver on the concept. That's how it would be different on Facebook. And I would make the mechanism the hero by saying the exact method, the exact strategy, the exact process I use to reach my clients 99% of the time. So that's how I would rephrase that. So as you guys know, the curriculum here, this is just the course itself. This is inside. You'll see the templates. There's a Better Way webinar invite. There's a lead magnet one we call the Rainmaker. We use it all the time. We were getting like dollar leads, 70-cent leads with Digital Marketer using the Rainmaker template, and that's the examples we use in it. We have the direct-to-car template, the one we're actually giving you today. Okay, long copy ad. See that long copy story ad template, the credible witness right there? That's the one that Irina wrote. You have that template that Tim used and got insane results with, and like quadrupled his ROI using that first time around, even without an optimal funnel yet. We've got other templates, the Absolute Proof direct to sales page video template, the cart filler video template, the anyone can do this video ad template, the what you need to know video ad template. Okay, the full funnel optimization, the complete creation process, the code for reading your metrics, troubleshooting, the retargeting schemes webinar, all the bonus Q&A webinars. We'll have the 5th one there soon. I just have it uploaded. We have to paste it there. We have the empathy map session. So there you go. All right. And if you guys join us today, like I said, $14.95 on the webinar. And we're going to be on here answering a few quick questions for a few minutes. But I would suggest that you guys take advantage of the half off regular price. If not, if you need a couple days, then we're going to bump it up to $19.95 for a few days for you, and then after that it goes back at full price. So click the link, secure your seat, you'll get the confirmation page, you'll get your login credentials and email. They may actually redirect you right away, and jump into Facebook Code of Conversions, and then we'll get you directions to access the Facebook group, which you're going to have to provide the email you used to buy, and then we'll whitelist you and bring you inside the group. Okay, and there's already a group of quite a few people in there that are have been through this and can answer a lot of questions for you already. So you literally get the support from the community from day one. All right, so with that, I'm gonna pop off the screen share, and
so we got another question about targeting.
Okay.
So what works best for targeting with these methods? Using interest targeting or custom audiences from emails?
So you've got to remember a couple things. One is at which phase you are in your business and how trained is your pixel. We've seen it both ways. With Digital Marketer as an example, we gave them a hyper-trained pixel because we were so specific in our copy that over time, we literally could just have it run without any targeting whatsoever. And it just ran wide open with no targeting and was continuing to keep the same cost per acquisition as if we were targeting specifically interests. But we look at it as an integrated approach. We still use lookalikes. We still use custom audiences. We use cold interests. And what we recommend is that you start out a little more specific while you retrain your pixel using the context. But keep in mind that when you set this much context inside of your ads, Facebook knows what you're saying and doing. So even if you have a very broad interest, your ad is going to help you do targeting because Facebook is going to see what it says. It's going to pick up on the words and the context inside of your ad and go, okay, let me go find other people like that that's within that audience that are more specific to this. So when you get good at this, it's actually better to have larger audiences because it knows who to find inside of those audiences much faster and much quicker. And so we like to say that eventually, maybe not always at first until you really get this down, that you kind of widen and go a little bit on your larger audiences because you're going to target with your copy, which is something that no one ever talks about. So, but that's how smart that algorithm is now. So that's one thing. And you'll get to a point to where you have to use very little targeting. But we still use custom audiences, lookalikes, cold interests, behaviors. We test a lot of that different stuff. So.
Also, video versus long copy ad.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the first things I would submit to everybody here is this. It's about neither, and then it's also both. And here's what I mean is because it's a little bit of a trick question. All right. Because what really matters on Facebook is not if it's a video or the copy. The combination of the two is preferable, which you probably want, which I proved with a 20-minute video and longer copy on one ad. Okay. And because of that, the results were insane. Okay. And if it's about understanding the message elements that you need to accomplish. And the thing is, some people do better accomplishing that in a video if they're naturally more like me, who you can tell, give me a microphone and the stage, I just don't shut up, right? Whereas Irina is more like, I'm going to say as least as possible, but what I say is powerful, right? Like he's my yin to yang. And I would say that if you're really good at writing things out and not as good at speaking on video, then you're in luck because you just want to make sure that you accomplish most of your elements or all of them in your copy and use an image, which a picture is still worth 1,000 words as long as you use the right type of picture. But when you get good at this and you understand what needs to be accomplished, remember what the hint I gave you earlier about the ad that a lot of you saw coming in, which was it's a long video, right? But then that copy also is a continuation of the video. So I got all of those elements that allowed me to get almost 80% opt-in rates for the registration for the webinar. And leads, because I was bidding very high, are still averaging around $4 or $5 right now, which is kind of high for us, but I just started a different account. And but it's very high quality, especially when you have like 80%, close to 80%, even 70% registration rates. So the real answer to is long copy or video better is it's which one do you do better? And eventually you get good enough to do both. And that's what a lot of those templates are for. That's why we give you video ad templates with the template of the copy as well to go along with it, because it's complementary to the video. Okay, so there's your answer, guys. Edge, do you still use conversion as the objective for leads? Only part of the time. That, like I said, it's only a part of the strategy. It's not, we don't have a small $37 front end or under $50 product right now. So as of right now, we ran all these as leads rather than optimizing for purchase. We will eventually create some smaller, simple thing that's under $50. But we don't have that right now. So we went directly optimizing for lead to a webinar, to this. This was all cold traffic for you guys, just all generated within the last few days. So that's your proof because you came through that ad, same one. Any other questions?
I think we covered. Posted the link and I purchased the course at the top. Question: will the replay be available?
Yes, we're going to send out the replay, obviously, because this is our first time on Webinar Jam and giving a lot of a lot of technical hiccups and everything as well. And also we were running ads in Australia to our Aussies who can't be on live. And we love our Aussies, so Aussie lives matter, and they spoke up in the comments as well. So we decided we were going to send a replay out for them. And if you are an Aussie and you watch this, then reach back out to us because we know you guys didn't get the chance for the on webinar special. We actually have a few coupons left over saved for the first few of you who do send in and say, look, I watched this webinar, I want it right now, and we'll get you that. So but that's just fair to them because it's 3 in the morning that we started. At the time we started, only 5 now for them. So just want to be fair to everybody. And so we're giving you a fair deal, guys. So the best shot now is to get it now rather than, and you know, an extra $500 at $19.95 is still amazing compared to what you're going to get in there. And other than that, I'm not sure.
Other than that, I am posting that template that we promised. It's going in the chat right now.
Okay.
Also, we do have a few more questions popping in. Could you briefly touch on how this would work with an ad straight to a $97 recurring SaaS offer?
Yeah. So it is a tall order to do that. However, we've been able to do it. We did it with Lab Plus with Digital Marketer, which is a $95 or $99 monthly recurring offer. And how we did it is we didn't go direct to sale. We didn't go cold traffic to a 99. We actually don't believe anything over $50 is very optimal for Facebook. And the reason for that is because your ad set needs to have like 5 to 7 conversions per day to optimize. And to fully properly optimize, it needs like 7 to 10. So if you're optimizing for a purchase, those sales don't come in every minute, you know, like a lead does. So you'll need to bid very high in your budget. Like you'll need to be at like $300, $400, $500 a day, which you can do if you get a good ad going, right? And then in that case, it could work. But we didn't go on the front end because we didn't find that directly to a recurring offer from cold traffic did not work that well. So going directly to one-time front-end offers, we were able to successfully do up to $99, but that's because I had my Ninja Ace copywriter, Josh, write the copy, and we made it work. But it took some versions, right? And actually, he knocked it out of the park the first time doing it. So it doesn't always happen like that, but it did. And we've been doing a lot of other of the ads there. So essentially, going to a front-end recurring offer, we couldn't even make it work at $50 per month. So what we did is we sent them to a one-time offer first, and then invited them to a webinar, and then the retargeting after we gave them the full offer. Then the retargeting from everybody who did not buy was that $99 offer on the back end. And it was very long copy saying, hey, here's the whole offer. Here's everything you get. Here's the experience you get when you buy it. And that worked where we were making sales at $40 to $50 per sale for a $99 recurring offer. So I don't recommend that high of a recurring offer. I don't actually recommend a recurring offer front-end cold traffic unless you're doing a ton of selling with a video. But I would still keep that under $50. Okay, so and there's things that tweaks with those funnels as well that I wanted to try with DM that we might have been able to increase those conversions, but we just never got there yet. So, but I think it is possible. It's just that it takes some skill, okay, and it takes learning and application and doing and learning the code methodology, okay, because you need to do a lot more selling in the newsfeed to be able to make it happen. So I would say it's right off the bat easy to go to a $99 recurring for cold traffic, but I definitely know it's very can be done, and we have the examples of ads that have done that you get inside of code. Okay.
Can we get the webinar price for a little bit longer?
Why, Paula? I mean, we'll hang out here for like another 15 minutes answering questions. Actually, guys, you know what? Let's hang out here for just a few more minutes. I'm at a point where, honestly, we need to pop off soon. But let me show you the back office of the ad that you guys saw and saw how good it was working. Let me do that because this is gonna.
A few more questions as well to go through.
Go ahead. Yeah. I'm gonna load it.
How would you use this for something that is not a problem but desire, like an e-commerce item, for example, that is not solving the problem but is more of an impulse buy?
Yes, perfect question. Who was that again? Say their name.
Anderson Prado.
All right, Anderson. So great question. All right. And here's what I would say to that. I would say that the difference is a lot of those psychological elements that you're accomplishing, you're going to do a lot more of a demonstration in your video, because you want to use a demonstration video. Demonstration, by far, walking somebody through the process that leads them to a point of logical conclusion that something works, is the most powerful video you can do for, especially for something that's more of like an impulse buy. If it's an impulse buy and you can't actually demonstrate how a product works, then you have to demonstrate it almost like, this is going to sound horrible, but it works for a reason. It's kind of like a pharmaceutical commercial where they show you walking through a park with a hot chick and a puppy, you know, and you're like, oh my God, I want that disease because I want that, right? And so the same thing happens with understanding the psychological elements of what that product does for you and those ultimate benefits in the mind of what would I ultimately be seeing myself doing. So you want to have all of that in the video, and then the text is going to summarize that what they see in the video, but then also expand upon selling it more and giving all of the offer as to what it is, why they should get it, value justification, even a comparison. Here's why this is better than something else, and reciting mantras that may be tapping belief systems for why someone would want to buy that coffee mug that has that statement on it in the first place, right? The coffee mug that has a certain statement that you love is like, show the person in that scenario drinking the coffee mug with it saying it on the coffee mug and illustrating the situation. There's ways to do it. It works a lot better. So that's what I would say really at this point.
And last but not least, how well would this work for strictly booking sales calls via Calendly?
Really well. So obviously, if you're not going to optimize for purchase up front, which is clearly you don't have to, okay, then you're still optimizing for, you know, a schedule or a lead or something like that. But it's the message that matters. So you would be making more of a case for what the issues are that people get and how you're going to help them on the call. It's more specific about how instantly are you going to help them? What are you going to offer on the call or the consultation right away that gives them small wins? And so that psychology through the EPIC methodology that you learn in Code of Conversions helps you craft that even without a template. I'm just grabbing this stuff. Let's see here. I'm going to pull up that ad for everybody. Okay. Any other questions there?
Nope. I think that's all.
Okay, so we'll take a few more minutes here. I want to show you guys this, give you guys a chance to pop in on this. So what happened there? That's not all of them. Oh yeah, it is. I think. Yeah. There we go. Okay, sorry. So I want you guys to see this. And I'm going to show you the whole thing, so even the ones that didn't work. I think you guys will appreciate this. You'll like this. So for those of you who came in through that video ad, all right, I'm going to make this a little larger for everybody so everybody can see. Okay. So some of these are like still literally like running. I have to actually turn some of them off. Cost per result, you can see not cheap, right? Like we used to be able to get a lot cheaper. But what happened, this was an older account that I reactivated because we just started fresh with a new fan page. But I literally got like 4 or like 20 ads disapproved the moment I reactivated the account, from ads done 4 or 5 years ago that don't now meet their specifications, like text in the image and everything, right? So I had a really bad score on this account from the start, which caused some of my CPMs to go much higher and my cost to go up a bit. But I wanted to get goodwill back with Facebook on this. So you can see 10, 9, 7, 5, 619, 542, 791, 874. Overall, 219, that's only one of them. One thing here, let me get this one other ad that accidentally snuck in here so it'll actually show the cumulative of leads and not showing blank, because I have one of the brand awareness ads in here. Anything else? All leads in this one. Okay, so let me filter. I'll show you guys the average of this, right? $5.14 per lead, right? 206 generated. This is just in the last 2 days. So let me do just in the last today and yesterday. $5.41 per lead, 163 leads, right? I want to show you guys something and then teach you something here too. You see this? CTR all and CTR link. What most people don't ever teach, people usually always just completely avoid and don't even look at the CTR all because they don't think it matters. And what does matter is that there's a ratio, because people have to click see more or click play in order to consume the content, watch the video, read the copy, right? So this actually gives us a ratio usually of either 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 from CTR all to CTR link, which is very ideal. What you'll see here is CTR alls means 17%, so 17 out of 100 actually indicated they played the video or they clicked see more to be able to interact and consume the content. 15 out of 100 here, 15 here, 16 here, only 5 here, 8 here, 10 here. And on top of that, so you have a perfect ratio in a lot of these where it's a 3-to-1 or a 2.5-to-1 ratio, because sometimes people just watch captions rather than clicking play. So it's like 2.5 is optimal for videos. And so you'll see that 2.5, like 3.1% link click-through rate, 8.49% link click-through rate. The average, guys, is 1% on Facebook. 7.14, 5.28, 6.6. So there's 8x, 7x, 5x, 6x the average. 2 down here, that one Gary V didn't do too well. He's more of a celebrity now, so it's not as targeted. 3.5%, 3.8%. 6.1, 2.17. So not all of them work. Obviously, I turned some of those off. And that's still way above average, right? So, guys, those are insane. This is proof right here for you that a long copy and a long video, 20 minutes. No one's going to tell you to use 20 minutes. Facebook recommends 15 seconds. But when you give good content, doesn't matter. You guys are here. You watched the video. It's proof that this works. Okay? So yeah.
Shane has a question. How would you sell event tickets if you only have the ticket to sell and I cannot create an offer stack?
The offer stack is going to be more of a benefit-based stack rather than deliverables. If it's tickets, it's going to be the experience they have. Hear the best songs from your artist. Be able to sing along to your favorite song. It's going to be more stacked in terms of the experiences. Okay. But I will also be fair with you and say that selling concert tickets, although I think the Epic methodology is going to help you tremendously just in that, where a lot of our focus is at is warming up more people who are problem aware, where you can create larger audiences. And concert tickets, if you don't use the back end stuff first, like using social media like Chris did to actually expose people to his message and his music videos and his music on Facebook, and make sure to gather those custom audiences of people who watched his video, like video views, people who watched 25% of the video or more, and retarget them, and it's multiple steps of that. Like, that's how you grow it to where by the time you get to asking for a concert ticket sale, there's so many more to choose from that it works much better and they're much more branded. They buy it faster. So it's not about the one-off, it's about the process you bring them through. Okay.
One thing I would do is like concert tickets. You could do a stack like Chris said in terms of like experience. You know, you can always add like one of the things that Chris did, and for one of the concerts that he actually invited us to in Phoenix, is that he had this VIP experience before the concert where, you know, his fans who had a chance to come for an hour and like hang out with him. He gave them some merch. He, you know, kind of like shared, talked to them, hang out, and like it was the experience. And then they got to go to a concert. So that's one of the things that you can always add on to, you know, your tickets. It's like the value of like spending time with the artist, which is always a cool thing.
Yeah, he actually like took the payment himself and then went and bought the ticket, paid for the ticket later from the vendor, and put that person's name on it. But he sold them a bundle of getting a t-shirt, swag bag, VIP, hanging out, all that stuff. And it worked really, and it funded everything. It funded all of his ad spend by selling the t-shirts and all of that, because he basically added like $30 to the ticket, and it paid for all of his ad spend to sell his tickets to get people there in the first place. So if you're in a situation where you can do that, then I would highly recommend it, because it helps. It's the same thing as optimizing for purchase on the front end where it funds your ad spend. This is the same thing. So that's where I would see it coming into play. So.
Also, Victor mentioned that he just purchased and he used the PayPal and it didn't redirect him yet. So Victor, yes, we have you in our system. So if nothing happens by the time we get off this webinar, someone from our team will be reaching out to you. So no worries, we got you.
Yeah, and I'm just making sure Matt tells me like if it's gone through, then we got you.
Yeah, he went through. Yeah, we're good. We're already talking.
Yeah, guys, support at True North. Which one you want to use here?
Matt
at northnodesolutions.com. North Node Solutions, just the way it sounds.
I'm gonna type it in the thread here.
Yeah. And we're going to begin the countdown. So, mostly because I drank too much water and I can't really stay on much longer. I need a bathroom break, if I'm going to be honest. I'm almost ready to lose it. So, here's what I'm going to do, guys. And what we'll do is, the moment we pop off of here, we're going to deactivate that $14.95 coupon. And right as we get off, we're going to put in the coupon code that gives you $19.95. And if you don't get that, then that's where you can send an email to Matt at North Node Solutions saying, hey, I was just on the webinar. Can I get that coupon code for $19.95 because I missed the $14.95? And we will send you that coupon code, okay? But we are going to put that in the chat here in a minute, okay? But what I want to do here is essentially start countdown and answer any last questions. Guys, this is your time. If you want to learn anything else right now, then that's it, right? And this is your chance. So let me share again. And there you go. So we've got less than 5 minutes left, guys. So ultimately, I truly, truly believe that this type of methodology is the future of Facebook advertising. I truly believe that this eliminates all the gimmicks, all of the bottom of the barrel people that are trying to manipulate you. And this stuff can allow you to be fully ethical and in line with your values and message someone properly. Why people made this so hard, I do not know. But we've spent 8 years perfecting this. And what we've really realized is at the end of the day, Facebook is different than any other place. And you have to treat it like such, because it's like the party, right? So you can't talk directly to a person like you can on a sales letter. You can't ask them questions and try to talk one-on-one, because that's not Facebook. That's not the platform. Facebook is all about, it's like a party or a barbecue or a potluck, if you wish. And it's more about talking to a group of people at the same time, and you have to start talking and telling stories and educating and telling people about how something works like you would at a party. And then those people decide if it's relevant to them, and then they want to listen more. And it's like, it's the difference between the guy that comes up to you at a networking event like, hey, what do you do? Are you a business owner? Hey, I've got this great thing. Here's my card. Check it out. I have all these things. Da, da, da. I do this better than everybody. Versus like, hey, let me tell you guys about how I, found this certain solution. I didn't think it was the solution. I didn't believe it was going to be. And had you tried to tell me the day before that this would have ever been the way, I would have told you were crazy. But then after I saw it happen with my own two eyes, here's what I saw. I saw it happen like this, and like that. And it actually solved the problem I was looking for. And I could barely believe it, but it is. And so now, here's how this works. Like, it actually works like A, B, and C. And when you have A, B, and C, this thing actually works. So if you guys want to check it out for yourself, then go here. You can find it for yourself and see if it works. Totally different way of thinking. Totally different mindset. Okay? Like I said, guys, I'm giving you a deadline right now because I want to encourage you to not procrastinate and take the right action. This can revolutionize your business. There's so many people inside of our group that say that the click rates, their first relevant scores of 10, it's insane. The results speak for themselves. So
we have people who had products that they weren't able to, like, they were scared to spend $20 on ads because, it just wasn't working. Even though they had good product, like, they just couldn't drive traffic and like make it convert. And now, what was it she posted a few days ago? She finally she's spending like more than $100 a day. Like, she feels comfortable and she's making sales every day just by using this. And another thing, I don't know, maybe some of you wondering whether or not you can write a long copy, using templates is one thing, but like, can you write a long copy ad? And I think I can be kind of like a testimonial for that, because if you realize it or not by now, English is not my first language. English is actually my second language, and I've worked really hard to, learn to write. Not necessarily like learn to write, but it's just not in my natural thing. And so this helps whether, it's your first language or second language, because if I can write copy that, can go on for like months and months and months generating sales, so can you, because you have everything you need with those templates and, checklists and all those things. So
exactly.
That's what I got.
I'm going to turn the screen share off. We've got less than 30 seconds, guys. What we're going to do here in just a few seconds is put the $19.95 price point in there. But I wanted to reward you fast movers that wanted to take action and do this with that best price. Okay. Feel like we're kind of giving it away at that price, but hey, there we go. That's it, guys. So Matt, let's be nice and give them about 2 more minutes for people who are filling out their information on their card on the page, on the checkout page. Give them a chance to fill that out and to put their credit card information in, and then deactivate that coupon here in a minute. So from that point, I'd stay on longer, but I drink too much water. Let's keep it at that. Can we post that other link in there?
Yes, I'm going to replace the one that I had at the top and post the second one. So guys, if you want to click it now, because I'm removing it in about right now.
All right, guys. We appreciate you staying on with us. We appreciate you being here and taking the time with us. We want to be respectful of your time. We know we went a little long, but that was some tech hiccups. We wish we could have controlled that, but next time will be better. So with that, guys, take care and appreciate your time. And make sure to go subscribe, like our page, okay, North Node Solutions, and go like our page. I do go live there from time to time and just do teaching, and any stuff that comes up I address publicly, and stay plugged in. All right. So with that, guys, have a great weekend. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.